I feel like it's not hard naman to look around and immediately see instances wherein gender inequality manifests itself here in the Philippines. Like, for example, just last year in the 2022 presidential elections, the run for presidency is a perfect example of gender inequality in the Philippines. Even though it is expected for, voters to nitpick the candidates relative to their preferred choice, how this nitpicking is done is what serves as an example of gender inequality. Those who are against Marcos, who is a male candidate, gave elaborate reasons as to why they do not support him. Tapos on the other hand, those who are against Robredo were quick to state that they don't support her simply because she is a woman.
Equality in the Philippines has been a very hot topic over the past years and even up to now. Gender inequality, gender-based violence remains a significant concern here in the Philippines. Women and girls continue to face various forms of abuse, including domestic violence, sexual harassment, and human trafficking. While there have been lots of efforts to address issues like this through legislation and programs, more work is needed to enforce existing laws and improve awareness.
Inequality between genders is quite prevalent in the Philippines, especially for Filipinos who also experience a wide range of gender expressions. Since there are many contributing factors that make an impact of gender inequality on the Philippines longer lasting, I believe it's more difficult to achieve equality in the Philippines today. I describe it as a challenging situation because the root causes are really embedded within the history of our country.
Well, to start off, there is still a huge wage gap in the Philippines, which I feel like says a lot about the state of gender inequality here. And the reason why I feel like it says a lot is because yung livelihood and yung salary natin is one of, if not the most important day-to-day aspect of our lives. How we survive ourselves is hugely dependent on what we do for a living, and if something that important shows huge inequalities that are gender-based, then you already have an idea of how it is for our country as a whole.
First is the most common one is gender-based violence. Women are seen to be paid less compared to men. Wage gap. The significant disparity in wages between men and women in the workforce is the clear sign of gender inequality. If women consistently earn less than men for similar work or are underrepresented in higher paying professions, it points to an economic gender gap.
For me, bias preference and social structure of patriarchy are the main root causes of why gender inequality is a recurring problem in the Philippines. Bias preference is well ingrained in the society's history and culture because colonialism brought in a macho feudal society in the Philippines. Patriarchy, on the other hand, comprises of a network of connections, viewpoints, and ideas that structures the gender gap between men and women in political, social, and economic systems.
Philippines is still mostly a traditional nation, and I feel like it is important to note that a huge part of our culture and tradition is heavily influenced by religion. The church is still largely influential, and not necessarily in a bad way naman, but still influential among Filipinos. And even though there is significant progress, it is still hard for most Filipinos to steer away from the beliefs of the church and adjust to equality-centered concepts, which I believe prevents further progress when it comes to gender equality.
Back in the day, there's what we call arranged marriage. In some traditions and cultures, arranged marriage and dowry systems are still prevalent. These practices can lead to commodification of women and reinforce the idea that women are dependent on men for their security. And next is gender roles and expectations. Traditional cultures often assign specific roles and specific expectations to men and women. These roles might include men as the breadwinners and women as caregivers and homemakers. When these roles are rigidly enforced, it can limit individuals' opportunity and reinforce stereotypes about what men and women should do.
For myself, I believe that some religious practices, particularly within the Philippines, where same-sex marriage is forbidden by the Catholic Church, are hallowed by traditions. With all honesty and modesty aside, it does contribute to the gender inequality to some level, since I truly feel that everyone has the eternal right to express their love and compassion to others in gender with our life system.
I feel like there are a lot of ways one can put effort into alleviating gender inequality in the Philippines. Like, kahit the small, mundane, day-to-day actions that we do, pwede yun mag-accumulate to contribute to the cause. But, if you want to make concrete effort talaga, I believe pushing for more representation of women in the political field is one of the most efficient ways we can encourage gender equality in the Philippines. Because when it comes to women and what they fight for, they have such grave experiences of oppression, which in turn makes them advocate not only for women oppressed, but for everyone oppressed.
Simply just by being a role model. Lead by example. Lead by example in your personal and professional life. Demonstrate respect, equality, and inclusivity in your interactions with others. Challenge discriminatory behaviors when you encounter them. Remember that progress towards gender inequality requires collective efforts from individuals, communities, and institutions. By taking these concrete steps, you can contribute to a positive change and help build more equitable and just society in the Philippines.
It must first begin with an individual fully comprehending the fundamentals of mutual respect and kindness, because the climate of inequality in the Philippines has had a significant impact on a wide range of domains, including some that directly challenge basic human principles.
I have huge hopes that the SOGI bill can help diminish the institutionalized problems of gender inequality in the Philippines. You know, yung deeply rooted talaga sa ways and beliefs natin. And since it is a bill and is legal in nature, it can help abolish the systematic oppression that not only women, but even the other marginalized groups experience. This can pave the way for a safer environment for our future generations to thrive in, hopefully.
SOGI bill, also known as sexual orientation, gender equality, gender identity and expression, promotes principle of equality and inclusivity in the Philippine society. This not only benefits men and women, but also people from LGBT community who are heavily affected by these discriminations. With this, it sends a powerful message that all citizens, regardless of their SOGI, deserve the same rights and opportunities. Other than that, reducing the stigma and social exclusion will benefit many Filipinos. Legal recognition and protection can help reduce the stigma associated with the being of LGBT plus community and combat social exclusion. With this, it can lead to the improvement of mental health outcomes and increased social integration for LGBT plus community individuals.
If the SOGI bill is passed by Congress and becomes a law, I believe it will ensure the safety, protection, and preservation of equality in the Philippines for all races and gender, because the essence of law and its formalities ensure that everyone is safeguarded in their ability to exercise their freedom of expression in their daily lives. I believe that if the SOGI bill is approved, we will be able to assure that the Philippines is on the path to equality and the future of the next generation is safe with equality.
Hi, I am Sofia del Agua.
Hi, my name is Peter Delmendo.
Hi, I'm Keifer Domingo, and thank you for listening Animal Talks.